Welcome to this short video. It's on Learning Unit 1, the changing media landscape. It's about understanding the role of media in research. The unit overview and learning goals. This unit explores media evolution, tradition versus digital, media impact on research visibility, key media platform and players, bias, critical thinking, and global sensitivity. The learning goals are: analyze media trends, evaluate media sources, and use media to enhance research reach. Traditional media, which is the foundation of the current media. It is a legacy media with one-way flow where the producer traditional media foundation. This is legacy media with one-way flow. Information comes from the producer to the passive end user. There's no way the end user can communicate back to the producer. Examples are newspapers, radio, and television. The features of traditional media are editorial gatekeeping. That means the producer controls all the information. The end user is a passive receiver. The other feature is regulated content. Content is determined by the producer. And then the other feature is limited interactivity. Limitations for researchers: the feedback is very slow. You cannot get it in real time. It will take time. And there's limited audience. You look at newspaper, it has to reach the readers physically. And if it is radio, it goes through a channel. For example, the channels that are broadcast in Kenya cannot reach South Africa or Nigeria easily. The same applies to TV. The channels that are broadcasting in Kenya or transmitting from Kenya cannot reach Africa, leave alone the world, and therefore there is limited audience. Rise of digital media. Definition: digital media is an online interactive platform. It came about due to the development in the web technologies. Examples are blogs. Blogs are just weblogs. These are platforms where individuals can publish information that they wish to share with the public. Then we have social media. Social media is an online platform characterized by user-generated content and sharing within communities. Examples of social media include Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and many others. Another example is podcast. Podcast is where two or more people or experts in a given field share information about a given topic in real time, and then their audience are able to give feedback in real time. So features of digital media include two-way communication, not just from the producer to the consumer, but the consumer, the audience, can communicate back their feedback. Then rapid dissemination. Because it's digital and it's online, there is the distribution aspect. Content is published once, but the reach is wide. And then the global reach. Again, internet is global. Is not restricted by like the television or the radio, where there are specific channels. This one is as long as you can connect to the internet, you'll receive the content, and therefore it's global. Opportunities for researchers. Researchers can engage in real time. They can share their research findings or methodology in various platforms like ResearchGate or LinkedIn, and somebody can comment or share in real time. Again, because it's web-based, it reaches a wider audience. Yeah. So those are the opportunities that researchers can use to disseminate their researches. Let's look at media evolution timeline from past to present. So the first form of media was print, where we had the printing press. The first one was in the 13th century, and it has evolved. Radio came in, transistor radios, televisions, the web, and social media. So it evolved from the traditional printing press to the current social media, which is AI enabled. Key points to note: Internet went public in 1990 as a result of Tim Berners-Lee paper that he published in 1989, and it was implemented in 1990, but then became public in 1993 when Mosaic was developed as a web browser. Mosaic is the first web browser that could allow users to interact with the web content. As the web evolved, APIs were developed. API is Application Programming Interface, where you can now put content directly on the web. And this happened in the early 2000s. So platforms like weblogs, commonly referred to as blog, and Wikipedia. Wiki is what I know is, and pedia came into existence. Then by the year 2010 and onwards, mobile optimized app came into existence and has developed to AI and AI media. Now, media ecosystem. Media ecosystem consists of network of producers, platform, and audience. The producers develop the content and share in the different media, including the platforms, online platforms, and then the audience are able to consume the information that has been shared. So the actors in the media ecosystem include the producers, who can be categorized as journalists, algorithms for things like chatbots, and researchers. The platform that they can use online include YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Google News, Facebook, LinkedIn, ResearchGate, and so on. So the question is, where does academic fit in the media ecosystem? Which platforms are used by academic? Notable examples include LinkedIn, ResearchGate, academia, OSID, and so on. Key concepts and terminologies. We have media literacy, and this is the capability to analyze and evaluate media. And then media ecosystem is the interconnected platforms that starts from the producer to the consumer. Media bias, that is learned due to agenda, where information can be misrepresented. Infographics, these are visual storytelling. These are graphics that have a story. And then critical thinking is about questioning and verifying media and the content that is presented through the media. Impact of media on research. There is both positive and negative. So the positive one, media boosts visibility and citation. You share your work on LinkedIn or even ResearchGate, it will be visible to a wider audience and the citation will come. Also drives public and policy impact. It is a way that the research output can reach policymakers. Negative impact of social media on research include oversimplification risks, where the content is translated into a language that can be understood by the masses, but then in the process, the information may be misconstrued. Another aspect is misinterpretation. Examples are cases that came in during COVID-19, the myths about AI, and even misrepresentation on climate change. So real-world case studies, examples where social media has been used or just media has been used in climate change communication, where scientific evidence has been distorted, and public shaped by framing. So the lesson that we can learn from here is that we need to be clear as researchers, consistent, and fact check. Always try to verify the facts. Evaluating media sources. The following is a checklist that can be used to evaluate media sources. 1. Who is the author? Is he an authority in that field? Is he qualified? Or the organization that is giving that information? Is there conflict of interest? Is it affiliated? And so on. And then the platform's reputation. Again, over time, a platform has a reputation. Yeah. And then that information, does it have evidence or is it mere opinion? And then the other way to check is for multiple viewpoints. And can the information be verified? So as a researcher, whenever you come across information, you need to verify or you need to ascertain that it is valid and reliable, and that is a checklist. Roles of researcher in media. Why engage? You engage in media to share your findings and shape discourse or discussions on a given topic. Also build visibility. How can that be done? By writing through open education resources, do interviews, and launch weblogs or commonly known as blogs and podcasts. Culturally sensitivity in global media. Challenge: media reflects cultural norm, and when it's global, the norm that is acceptable in one place may not be the one acceptable in another place. Yeah, and that one is a challenge. Examples where sensitivity comes in is humor and sensitive topics. So to remain focused and maintain integrity of a researcher, best practice involves avoiding jargons, respect context, and use analogies. There are interactive activities that you'll do in this learning unit 1 in the LMS H5P. There'll be a quiz, and then there's discussion forum, there's timeline, and then there's infographic based visual story. Reflective learning task. You can write a blog post. Use what you've learned from this unit. For example, how to engage with the media and the challenges you foresee. Tips: use examples from your field. Summary and takeaway: media evolved static to dynamic. Researchers must adapt. Media literacy is key, and infographics aids engagement. Communicate with cultural sensitivity. Thank you for listening to me.